Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Belladonna.
Belladonna who?
Belladonna works, so I had to knock. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mandy.
Mandy who?
Mandy Lifeboats, we're sinking!
I'll save you!
Do you know what show and tell is, Angel Girl?
Show and tell?
Little boys and girls like Thomas find things unusual and interesting, and they bring them to school and show them to their classmates. A crimson leaf is a treasure, and a cocoon is a mystery, and an empty eggshell is a tragedy. Everything is so new to them. When they find these little pieces of the world, they need to share them with someone and talk about it and respond.
Dad, look! Come here, little kitty. Are you lost? Come here.
I guess I know what he'll be bringing to show and tell.
No. He's going to show something that no child should ever have to see.
What is it?
It's terrible.
Car's here, I've got to go. Anybody want to walk me?
I thought you were staying all week.
I thought so too, Thomas. Something very important came up.
Well, you promised.
Thomas, I never made that promise. I never break my promises to you.
You never make any.
Come on, give your mom a kiss goodbye. See ya.
Come on. It's only going to be a couple of days. Maybe I can bring you back something.
Like what?
Oh, maybe some cat food?
Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Celia.
Celia who?
Celia Round.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome, Senator.
Okay, son, back to work.
You might as well open it.
Why are we here? We should be there. Why aren't we there?
We will be. And a little child shall lead us. A burden heavy load, I will rise and I will walk with you. with you.
They will lose their farms, they will lose their homes, and perhaps worst of all, they will lose their faith in a government that said, let us depend on you and you can depend on us. With every slice of buttered toast we senators eat at our catered breakfasts, we are telling the American farmer that we expect another slice tomorrow. But there are fewer and fewer farmers and more people expecting breakfast. Senate Bill 9440 will only hasten the day of the forgotten farmer and the empty table. Thank you, Mr. President. I will yield my remaining time to the senator from the state of California.
Next time you can give my speech for me, okay?
If there is a next time.
Oh, Kate, you're going to get reelected again and again.
Did you talk to him?
Wait till after November.
I really belong on appropriations, Stephen. I'm not going to get into the power circles talking about toast.
Wait till the day after the elections. We'll talk. Hey, you think you can ever get that husband of yours to register to vote?
When McGovern runs again.
Sumner's office called. They want a meeting tomorrow before they commit.
Back home?
I'm sorry, but Senator Cooper's calendar is completely booked for the next 3 weeks.
It's terribly important. Truly a matter of life and death. I'm not exaggerating.
What was your name again, sir?
If you go back, you can make the NAACP dinner.
See if you can get me on the 10 o'clock, will you?
It'll be tight.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
It's Mom. What you doing?
Nothing. Did you know that the Egyptians thought cats were like gods or something?
How is the cat doing?
Fine. Do we have any helium?
Why do you... Never mind. Where's your dad?
He's next door helping Mrs. Rosenberg with her toilet. Knock.
Honey, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of time. Can you tell your dad that I'm going to try to fly home tonight really late?
Will you bring me a flag?
A flag?
A little one, but it has to be real. Like you put on the moon.
A real little flag. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Don't forget to tell your dad, okay?
Okay.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
I've got to go. I have to vote.
You're on the 10 o'clock. You can stop off at the embassy party on the way. Be at National by 9:15.
Get that cocktail dress out of the closet and tell Sumner lunch tomorrow.
No luck.
That's just the bad news. Good news is I don't believe in luck.
You're an interesting guy, Andrew. What were you doing out there in the desert that day? You don't think it was luck running into a photographer just when I needed one?
No. I think God had something to do with that.
Ah, yes, God. I remember him before he left the Sudan.
Dr. Joe, don't give up. There's something better out there than luck. And there's someone I want you to meet.
A great party. Thank you so much. Andrew.
Monica, this is Dr. Akat.
Ah, the famous Dr. Joe. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you. So kind of you to help us.
So, how did you manage this?
The ambassador was recently visited by an angel. I'm on the A list now. Come on.
That's true, but no matter what legislation is passed, it will get vetoed unless it has significant educational support for the inner city.
Shouldn't be on the bill in the first place. It's worthy, it's overdue, but I think to put it into
Kate, excuse me. Don't you have a plane to catch?
Oh my gosh, I've got to go.
Hey, say hi to the hippie for me. And Thomas?
Right. Thomas. Oh no. His flag.
Senator Cooper, isn't it?
Yes, I was wondering if...
We were hoping we would run into you here. This is Dr. Joseph Akat.
How do you do?
Hello.
Dr. Akat is doing wonderful work in the Sudan, and we were hoping that you...
I'm late for a plane, I'm sorry.
That's okay, we'll walk with you.
I'm Monica, and this is Andrew. He's organizing the trip.
What trip?
We want you to take a trip to the Sudan. Senator, there's still slavery in the world today. A human being can be bought and sold for $50 in the Sudan, the price of a goat.
I've heard about that. The Sudanese government denies it.
Senator, it's true. I've seen it.
But if we had someone like you as senator who could make a difference, you could come and see, and then we could
sorry, but
document
to be
and
honest,
prove.
the Sudan is not a priority right now. Why don't you call my office and set up a meeting with one of my staff?
Senator, do you know how many children will be dead by then?
Please, just look at this.
I'll throw in the flag from Argentina.
Okay. Let's get to the airport. Back to sleep.
Did you bring me my flag?
Yes, it's in my briefcase. You'll get it in the morning. Night, baby.
Dear Senator Cooper, I write to you today on behalf of innocent people who cannot speak for themselves. The slaves of the Sudan, the civilians whose southern villages have been raided and destroyed by northern militias and soldiers, whose men are murdered and whose women and children are taken into slavery as the spoils of a so-called holy war against those who refuse to convert to their religion. Once captured, the slaves are beaten, raped, even branded like cattle. They are used as currency, traded for trucks or guns, bought and sold like livestock. I enclose the testimonies of several redeemed slaves. Please come to the Sudan. Before we can fight this terrible thing, we must first prove that it exists.
Yes, it's true, Thomas. There's a whole world out there, oceans away, where little children like you can't play or go to school or even say their prayers. They don't dream about going to the moon. They just dream about going home.
my flag.
You are never to get into my briefcase. Do you understand?
Hey, Mom, what does sexual chattel mean?
There's a war going on in this country. Terrible things happen when people fight wars.
But I thought soldiers fought wars.
They do?
But little kids aren't soldiers.
I know. But you don't play fair in a war.
I think his name is Sam. Like my brother.
You think about him a lot, don't you?
Sometimes. It's kind of weird to think that he lived his whole life before I was even born.
That's right.
That wasn't fair either.
No, it wasn't.
Can I see it? So are we going?
Where?
To the Sudan.
No, I don't think so. It takes more people to change the world.
But if you went, you could get him free. You could get Sam. You could bring him home with us, and he can live with us and go to school and stuff.
Maybe he has a mommy who would miss him.
Maybe they killed her already.
Thomas. You get ready for school and you stop worrying about this.
All it takes is one person to make a difference. That's what Dad says.
Uh-oh. What does Dad always say?
Get to school, Thomas.
Okay.
You busy for lunch today?
I'm having lunch with Sumner, that's why I came back.
No.
You think you might register to vote this time?
And ruin a perfect record?
Could be a tough election. Every vote could count.
You gonna be here next week? For that parents thing, back to school day?
Yeah, we've got that covered. Carrie set up a press conference on the playground.
I asked because your son will be there.
This is a silver dollar. My daddy gave it to me as a present when my little sister was born last week. She was born the same day as Miss Campbell's babies. Oh, teacher! I heard Miss Campbell had triplets, 3 of them. And I know how, too.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm sure when Mrs. Campbell returns, she'll know exactly how many babies she had and how many she wants to tell you about. So now, anybody else have something to show and tell? Thomas.
I have something to tell you. Remember when we learned about slavery and how they abolished it a couple of 100 years ago? Well, it's not true.
Quiet, please. What are you saying, Thomas?
This is Sam. He costs $50. I am a 12-year-old girl. I was a slave for 3 years. My master was a cattle farmer. My master's wife threw boiling water into my eyes because she was mad because my master used me as a concubine all the time. Then he sold me to another master who beat me and would not give me food unless I changed my religion. I was very sad and I cried all the time because I missed my mother and my father and my little brother. I am very grateful to Mr. Joseph Acott for helping me to be free. And I pray to God that he will find my mother and my little brother and bring them home. I don't know if this is her little brother, but he's somebody's brother. I had a brother once, I never really knew him, but I miss him. And I don't know this kid, but it's hard to explain, but I miss him too.
So, bare bones, no frills, bottom line. We're talking radio, television, and print ads for the last 3 weeks of the election. 930,000.
That's not impossible.
I'd like to see your figures, though. Absolutely.
Kate, you are doing a great job for the people of this state.
Thank you, Bob. Then you're in?
Well, as you know, as a corporation, Summer counties can't legally fund your campaign. However, I'm sure our PAC would like to fund your campaign right up to the last legal penny. And as for the rest, well, we'll just have to twist a few arms and make sure we get the right people to the fundraisers.
I can't tell you what this means.
Kate, you just keep up the good work.
I've got a lot of plans for next term. Tax credits, health reform, of course, and recently I've been looking into what's going on in Sudan. I think we could seriously
Forget Sudan.
Right, forget the Sudan. Waste of time, not going anywhere. It's a complicated issue that no one understands. Trust me. You just worry about the good old US of A. That's what we're investing in. Oh, by the way, we've just come out with cherry truffles. Now, you can't share those back there in that committee.
Children of parents who participate in school activities perform better on tests, they have higher attendance records, and they tend to have higher self-esteem.
Where is your son?
I don't know. He left this morning all excited to set up his class project. He was going to surprise us.
There he is. Thomas!
Hey, sweetheart.
Come on, you guys! You guys see! Hey, Mom. Remember when you said that it takes lots of people to change things?
Not exactly.
Well, I found those people, and we're gonna help you.
Senator, was this your idea? Do you support the Sudanese rebels?
Senator, did you ask your son to raise money to buy slaves out of Sudan?
Thomas, what do you mean you're going to help your mother?
Senator Cooper.
Senator.
I've seen some people pay my dad $50 to fix a chair. Why can't they pay that to save a person?
Nope. Complete surprise. And I'm very proud of
Senator,
him.
are you going to the Sudan?
No, I have no plans to go to the Sudan. This is a very complicated issue. I am not prepared to discuss it at this time.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you put him up to this?
What are you talking about?
Where is Mrs. Campbell?
Mrs. Campbell is on maternity leave, and I'm substituting.
I feel somehow that you are responsible for this. I want to know who you are.
Well, I volunteered to help Dr. Akot.
No pictures, no.
Please understand, I did not seek out your son. The students in this class contacted me. I'll admit it seems like an incredible coincidence, but Senator, I will go anywhere to tell this story, even if it's to children. Perhaps especially to children. They seem to sense what is really at stake. Look around. You're making a difference already.
Oh, you have no idea.
Senator Cooper, it was the children's idea to raise money. And yes, the idea of paying money for a human being, even if it is for their freedom, is abhorrent. It won't solve the problem. But the children's hearts are pure.
Don't lecture me about my son. Don't do that. The reporters are watching.
Good work.
Thanks.
Gotta get back to the house.
Thomas, you got a customer here.
I'm going back to D.C.
Of course you are. Where's Thomas?
He's still at the school.
You sure you're safe with all those radical types?
What were you trying to do back there?
Support my son? Do a good thing?
And humiliate me.
It's always about you, isn't it? You can take slaves in Africa and make them about you.
If it threatens my campaign, yes, it absolutely has to do with me. I know that doesn't mean much to you, but it matters to me. And to a lot of other people, too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You have to get reelected so you can vote for some farm bill that'll get vetoed or something.
The system works, James, whether or not you respect it.
You don't do this because you believe in the system, Katie. You run for office so you can run away from home. You're not embracing democracy. You're rejecting me.
That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Why do you still wear this?
To honor Sam.
No, you wear this to accuse me. See, you don't have to look at it every day, but you know that I do. It's your little daily dig. Remember, James? Remember how we did it your way? We did the hippie thing. We had peace and love and no health insurance. Now our baby's dead, and it's all your fault. That's what you're saying.
I don't blame you, James.
You don't forgive me either. Why don't you go to the Sudan?
Because the Sudan has nothing to do with education or farming or any of the issues that are pertinent to my constituents.
And blah, 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 Katie. You've turned into one of them. You still want to change the world, now you can't even give me a straight answer.
I help to change the world every day.
You don't change the world. Not by kissing the behinds of people like Sumner. Change the world by being a good neighbor. One person at a time.
Like Mrs. Rosenberg in the toilet.
Like Mrs. Rosenberg. Or the Sudan, what's the difference? Katie, when your neighbor's in the sewer, you roll up your sleeves, you grab a shovel, you go over there and you clean up. Because someday it could be you. But you don't want to get your hands dirty. And that's why you won't go to Africa. And that's why you're going to leave me here to explain all of this to our son. Go on, fly away.
Flight 23 to San Francisco, now ready for boarding at gate 38B. Flight 23 to San Francisco, now ready for boarding at gate 38B. The structure was practically dissolved. This quake has created a shade of chaos already devastating and lost this
Why are you doing this?
Do you remember when you were a child and you imagined what the world would be like when the millennium came? Remember all the things that seemed like science fiction then? Nuclear medicine, the space shuttle, the internet, cell phones. But tell me, Kate, when you imagined the 21st century, did you ever imagine slavery?
You don't know anything about me. Or what it's like to do my job. When I started, I wanted to change things for the better in this world. Sometimes all I can do is keep them from getting worse. I'm not saying that what you care about isn't important. But I have to prioritize based on the realities of what I can actually do. And when I make those choices, something always gets sacrificed. And I've made so many sacrifices already.
Including the senator's own son,
Oh,
Thomas, who got the idea to raise money, he says, from reading intelligence reports in his mother's briefcase.
All you have to do is send it to me. Then my mom and Dr. Joe will take it to Africa and buy some people back. Just remember that girls cost more, but I don't know why.
The senator would not comment on a possible fact-finding trip to the Sudan.
Why won't you give this up?
Because you're the one, Kate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 1652 to Washington National is now boarding at Gate 52B.
Base
Basically, any reporter who calls, we tell them that your son was acting independently, that you admire his initiative, but the issues are complex, etc., etc.
Kate, you better make a statement, get yourself out of this business. If you don't, you're going to marginalize yourself with the other senators, and I can't help you.
Senator, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Senator, what kind of stunt are you pulling here? I thought we had an understanding.
I know. I had nothing to do with this.
You had nothing to do with it. Your kid's on the news all week raising money for you to go over there.
Bob, you've got this all confused. I'm not going. And even if I were, the money is not for the trip. He wants to use it to redeem some of the slaves.
There is no slavery in the Sudan. And trust me on this. The government says it doesn't exist, and I believe them.
You believe them? Because they told you so?
Look, it's really simple. The Sudan exports a product called gum arabic. Now, it is in everything. Food, soft drinks.
And candy.
Yeah. Katie. Katie. I don't know what's going on over there. And the truth is that I don't want to know. I just want what they sell at the same rate that I paid for it last year. Then I can keep my prices down, pay my employees, and keep your constituents working. It's really, really easy. You've got to wash your hands of this whole thing. Tell your son and the rest of the world that you are not interested in the Sudan. Or you'll lose me. And then you'll lose the election, and you won't be able to help anybody.
Irene, will you try to get my husband on the line again, please?
He's here with your son.
What? Hi.
You are really gonna be surprised, Mom.
I am already. I would have sent the car for you if I'd known you were coming.
I arranged for their tickets since time was getting short.
What are you talking about?
Okay, ready? Surprise!
Oh.
$3,236.76. That's 64 people, Mom.
You didn't tell him.
I guess I still hoped you'd change your mind.
Tell me what?
Come here, sweetie. Sit down. I think what you've done is wonderful. You are a sweet, loving, compassionate person, and I am so proud of you. But I can't take this money.
Why?
I'm not going to the Sudan. There are many reasons why I can't, but the truth is, well, there are people who don't want me to go. And if I don't listen to them, they won't let me be senator anymore. And then all the good things I try to do won't happen.
What if you just do one good thing?
It's complicated, sweetheart.
What about Sam?
Thomas, I can't.
Please, Mommy, please. There's gotta be enough money here. Tell her, Daddy. Tell her, please.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go register to vote.
I've got Cunningham online.
If you think you're going to change my mind, you are terribly mistaken. I love my family, Monica. I care for my son and his future. And the only thing that keeps me from dying inside every time I have to make a choice like this between my child and this office is that I truly believe, that there is a bigger picture and I am making a difference in it. My family have paid a price for years because of this job. And if I don't follow through on it now, all the way, what has it all been for?
I understand.
No, I don't think you do. See, I had dreams too, Monica. Things that I cared about, just like you. I wanted to improve healthcare and the environment and education and lower taxes all at once. And then I learned the truth. It's not about dreams. It's about compromise.
Compromise isn't truth. It's reality.
Well, I don't see the difference.
God is truth. He doesn't compromise.
What does God have to do with anything?
God wants you to go to the Sudan, Kate.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Get out of here.
No, I won't. There isn't much time left. Plane leaves in a few hours. There's room for 5. Dr. Joe, 3 angels, and you.
You telling me you're an angel?
Yes.
That's not possible. Why would God send an angel to me?
Because you're the one, Kate. You're the one who has to see the horror of what happens when helpless people can't defend themselves. You're the one who has to pay the money to redeem a human being from the closest thing to hell there is on earth. You're the one who has to come back and say, yes, I proved it. People are in bondage over there right now, today. You're the one to tell them, the ones who take their freedom for granted. You're the one who can shape the policy for an entire nation, maybe even the world. You are the one, Kate. The world may not know it. The slaves of the Sudan may not know it, but I know, and I can't walk through that door until you know it too.
You're asking me to give it all up. Everything that I've worked for.
You could lose everything, yes. You could lose the election. You could even be killed tomorrow in the Sudanese desert. It is not always easy to do the thing that God asks of us.
Right now, I am so afraid.
I know. Do you remember the story of Esther? Esther was queen of Persia, but she had a secret. She was Jewish. And she kept her secret until one day she discovered the entire Jewish nation was about to be wiped out. She had the power to prevent it, but she was afraid to come forward. Afraid she would lose her throne, perhaps even her life. And then someone said to her, who knows? Maybe this is what it's all for. Perhaps you were brought to the kingdom for just such a time as this. You are the one, Kate. And I'll let you into a little secret from heaven. Sooner or later, everyone is the one. They just have to say yes when the time comes.
All I have is now. To be faithful, to be holy, and to shine, lighting up the dark. Really have no choice but to voice the truth to the nations. A generation looking for God. For such a time as this, I was placed upon the earth to hear the voice of God and do His will, whatever it is. For such a time as this, for now and all the days He gives. I am here, and I am His, for such a time as this. Do you ever wonder why? Seems like the grass is always greener under everybody else's sky. But right here for this time and place, oh, you can live a mirror of His mercy, a forgiven image of His grace. For such a time as this, I was placed upon the earth to hear the voice of God and do His will, whatever it is. For such a time as this, for now and all the days He gives. I am here, and I am His, for such a time as this. We can't change what's happened till now, but we can change what will be, yeah, by living in holiness, and the truth will bring freedom. For such a time as this, oh, I was placed upon the earth to hear the voice of my God and do His will, whatever it is. For such a time as this, for now and all the days that He gives, I am here, and
God bless you and be with you as you return to your homes and search for your families. You're all now free.
And the footage from Cooper's mission left little doubt that the sale of human beings was taking place. And the heightened awareness of this travesty will hopefully bring new optimism to the region.
Such a time as this.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.